Audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, we have another minute and then we'll get started. All right, exactly 8 o'clock, and here we begin. Good morning, everyone. Can I get some energy? Most of you might be thinking, sir, good morning. I think there's something wrong with your clock. Don't worry, my clock is appropriate. The whole reason of me wishing you good morning is it comes up with a new energy, it comes up with a lot of new hopes. So forget what is done. It's a new energy, new start, new beginning, and we are going to spend 40 minutes, precious 40 minutes for our coming up examination. All right. What has happened? Your examination was good, bad, forget about it. The reason why I'm wishing you good morning is because, sir, it's gone. The last night is spent. No point in thinking about it. It was good. Congratulations. It was bad. Congratulations, because it would have been bad for everyone. As simple as that. Yes. So don't think much about it. Most of us are thinking about how I would have presented that answer in case if I was sitting in the examination hall, how this would have happened, how that would have happened. It's gone. No point in thinking about it. My only suggestion to each one of you is, if you have your question paper right in front of you, tear it. Just tell Jai Mata Di, you're done with your entire examination. We'll see what is going to happen. We'll see later on. Right now, our focus is on the next paper. 110% energy, 110% focus, and we are going to spend some quality time on just ensuring how to go about with the next paper. Having said that, can I just get a fair idea of how many people are writing this examination? Just raise your hands, gives me a fair idea. I see a lot of my students who are there. All right, 3-4 participants. All right, not an issue. So the entire session is primarily for you guys who are writing your examination right now. Yes. Having said that, my new friends or the friends who are going to write in future, this applies to you guys as well. Just stay calm. Just stay absolutely relaxed. We are going to watch a video and then we'll get started with the session. Can we watch a video? Yes.
Yes, sir.
How many of you watched Tom and Jerry in your school days? No, sir, I was too grown up right when I was born. The day when I was discharged from hospital, I was grown up, so I stopped watching all this. How many of you watched all this? Quick. Raise your hands, raise your hands. I have watched. I watch it even now. Honestly, I watch it even now. Let's quickly watch one interesting Tom and Jerry video, and then we'll get started with today's session. All right, guys, 100% energy, and just let me know if you guys can see the screen. Can you see the screen, friends?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I need response. Quick. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's watch this one video, and we'll get started with the session after that. You might be facing this, am I right? Yes. Can I get some response, friends? Those of you writing examination, at least you guys have to respond. Guys, the video is played only for you guys. Since you've just finished your exams, you're having 100 thoughts in your mind. Just clear it out. Relax. Breathe. Next 20-30 minutes that we're going to spend, let's get started. So I'm not getting into too much of technicals. Our primary focus is going to be, how do you approach this paper? Sir, too high funda? No, sir, it is not high funda. It is simple paper. It is theory. I have been a boss of writing theory papers right from my first standard, just like you guys. Even you've been writing theory papers right from first standard. Let's get started. If you see, it's an important point discussion that we're going to have. And I use the word gentle reminder. Why? Because this would have been discussed somewhere or the other. All right. So let's get started. Your question paper comprises of 2 parts. You guys might be aware. MCQ of 30 marks and descriptive questions of 70 marks. Very important. Please note, MCQ is going to be a cakewalk provided you read the question appropriately. Most of us just straight away we start reading those 4 options. That's not how you approach MCQ. Please read the question once. 110% there will be a hint. I am telling you 110% there will be a hint in the question itself. Read the question carefully. All right. Having said that, sir, descriptive. So please note that descriptive also will not be one single question of 10 marks. No, it's going to be a question of 4 marker or 3 marker or a 5 marker. All right, they will not ask you 8 markers, 7 markers and all. No, that's not how it is going to be in your examination. So relax, just absolutely relax. Out of every question, first of all, you're going to get one sheet wherein you're going to fill in your OMR answers for your MCQ. Apart from that, you're going to get one question paper for 70 marks. All right, ensure you get the complete question paper and there is no miss out on that. Sir, should I take calculator for law paper? No. Sir, theory paper, why is calculator required? No. Carry calculator. Why? There may be a question on dividend. There may be a question on opening registers. There may be 100 different variety of questions which might be practical oriented and you might need calculator. So please carry your calculator. 99% of us assume that it is a theory paper and we don't take calculator, and then we know 1 plus 2 is easier in the classroom, but 1 plus 2 becomes the biggest task in examination hall. Yes, so don't do this mistake. Please carry your calculator. Speed. Sir, my speed is extremely good or my speed is extremely bad. Both are a problem. If you're extremely bad at your speed, if you're extremely slow, might not help, because you will not even be able to finish 60 marks, 70 marks. Later on, you'll end up telling, sir, no, sir, I was not able to finish the paper, which is the biggest foolishness. No, you will be able to finish. Sir, my speed is extremely high. The problem is you'll end up finishing the entire 70 marks or 100 marks in 2 hours. What will I do 1 hour? Is there any point in wasting that 1 hour? No, you will have to balance it. Neither be too fast nor be too slow. Maintain your pace. Having said that, initial one question, am I going to be extremely slow, then I pick up pace? No, pace has to be right from the first question that you answer. So maintain your speed, not in the back end or in the beginning. It has to be balanced throughout your 3 hours. Understanding? Yes. Next, read the question twice. Guys, law paper, the biggest advantage, or any theory paper, the biggest advantage is there are usually clues, there are hints in the question paper itself, in the question itself. Now, this I am telling you out of experience because of multiple examinations I've seen. They give the clue. They give the clue in the question itself. Read the question twice. Very important. Don't attempt to assume what the question could be. Even before finishing your entire question, reading the entire question, you've just read one sentence and you've concluded what the question is going to be. Don't do this mistake. Don't do this mistake. I am telling you again out of my own personal experience. I've done this mistake several times. I've done this mistake of just reading just one sentence and assuming what the question would be. Don't do this. Read the entire question twice. It's going to help you. There will definitely be a clue in the question paper itself. All right. Third, sir, how should I write question numbers? Where should I write question numbers? The biggest blunder which one person can do is he will write 3 pages, 4 pages, but forget to write the question number itself. There are high possibilities that the question might not be evaluated. So what you can do is, it's very safe, very simple. I'm showing it to you how you're going to write your question in your paper. Let's assume this is your answer script. Nothing writing in the left corner, right corner. There are no corners when it comes to your question number. Right in the middle of the page itself, question number 1A. Next page, I am not writing anything called as question 1B here. No, it is going to be every new question in a new question, in a new script, in a new page rather. Every question, every sub question in a new page. There's nothing called as continuing save papers, become eco-friendly. No, not required during your examination. Do all this later on. Right now, at least in examination, question number 1A, right in the page middle. Question number 1B in the middle of the page. Do not attempt writing in the left corner, right corner. Don't do all those blunders, because what happens is, let's assume you have 2 minutes left. You have 2 minutes left. At least if you have written in the page, in the top page, in the middle of the page, becomes easier for you to refer and cross-verify if you've written the page numbers or your question numbers appropriately or not. All right. Having said that, please ensure you write all the sequence in a particular question together. What am I trying to say? So let's assume question 1 has A, B, C, D. You ensure that you write all A, B, C, D together. Don't make an attempt of writing A now, D in the fag end of the answer script, C somewhere in between. Don't do all that mistake. Please ensure that you write all the questions together in your answer script. What happens is, sir, I know question A, I know question B, question D, I know, C, I don't know. What should I do? Leave that one page. leave that one page, come later on and write. But ensure you're writing entire question together. Question 1, question 2, question 3 are written in the same sequence. You can write question 4 first. You can write question 5 first, but ensure you're writing that entirely together. You don't write one sub question now and the other sub question will be written in the last page of your answer script. That's not how you're going to do it. It is going to irritate the evaluator. Don't do this mistake. Understanding, everyone? Am I audible? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. So this is one very important tip. Please write the question number in the middle of the page. Nothing called writing in the left corner, right corner. Don't want all that confusion. Always every question, every sub question will be written in the middle of the page. Becomes very easier for the evaluator. Next. Sir, I want to write paragraphs because I've read in study material it is in paragraph. Don't do this mistake. Why? Imagine if I'm giving you the answer script, will you be able to read? Will you like to read paragraphs? The answer is no. When you don't want to read, why do you think the other human being also would want to read? No. Write in pointers. Sir, how many points should I write? Let's assume, ideally, if it is a 4 marker, write 5 to 6 points. All right, if it is a 4 marker, write 5 to 6 points. Why that one extra point? Just in case if any of the points are not complete or if they are inappropriate, the other 2 points might save you. Understanding? Sir, but if they're asking procedure and the procedure itself has 7 steps, should I write? Answer is obviously, you'll have to write all the 7 steps. So that might be 7 pages, 7 lines, whatever it is, but ensure that you're writing those many points as required. Understanding, everyone? Yes. So the second part is, the point that you have to remember is always write in points. Nothing is going to be in paragraphs. Why? Guys, please remember the other person is also a human being. If you can't read paragraphs, how do you expect that person to read paragraph? Make his life easier. Your life is also going to become easier. Next, best foot forward. What is this best foot forward? Nothing hyphen done. Sir, whichever question you know the best in the examination, you first attempt that. Why? Sir, because it's going to boost your confidence. It's going to always boost your confidence. It's going to give you that edge and higher the confidence in the first 1.5 hours. That is going to decide your marks in the entire paper. If your first 1.5 hours decides usually how your entire paper is going to be, how much you can score. Are you guys understanding? So why do you want to spoil the first 1.5 hours? Rather write only those questions which you're very confident about. So how do you go about? Let's assume there are 3 questions. I'm making it easier right now. Let's assume there's question 1, A, B, C, D. There's question 2, A, B, C, D. There's question 3, A, B, C, D. Now what you should do, please ensure this entire set is written together. All right. Now, but sir, out of these 4, I know only 2. Let's assume I know A, C, and D. I don't know B. What should I do? Please ensure you first write A, C, and D. We'll come back to B later on. Sir, but you asked me to write together. No, my meaning of writing together means it has to be continuously written. It has to be written sequentially. It should not be that you write sub question in first page and the last sub question somewhere in the last page or some in additional script. That will not be helpful. Rather, ensure that you write sequentially together. If at all you don't know any particular point, let's assume I don't know sub question D. What should you do? Leave space. Leave 2 pages. It's okay. Waste jayega. That's okay. How does it make difference? We'll scratch it. So leave 2 pages. Let's assume then I know 2A in sub question 2. I know C and D. What should you do? Please write C and D. Leave 2 pages for these 2 questions as well. Later on, I'll come and write these. What am I trying to say? Guys, please write sequentially. But the most important point that I'm trying to make is first 1.5 hours, we are going to focus only on those questions which I'm confident about. I should know something about it. If I know something about it, I'm going to attempt it in the first 1.5 hours. Why? Sir, my first 1.5 hours is going to give me the confidence for writing the next 1.5 hours. And that's going to decide how your paper script have to be written or how much you are going to score in that paper. Understanding, everyone? Yes. Next. Sleep in. Sir, very important, sir. I have done this blunder. I still remember it was SFM paper. It was strategic financial management where I had slept just for 2 hours. I had prepared so well. I'm telling you guys, I had prepared extremely well. CA final stage, I prepared extremely well. When I got the question paper, I was confident of getting 80 plus. I was confident of getting 80 plus, not writing 80 plus. I'm telling, I was confident of getting 80 plus. That was the confidence because I prepared extremely well. Blunder. What was the blunder? Sir, I slept only for 2 hours. Now, what happened during examination, sir? First 1 hour, I had written extremely well. My brain was supporting me absolutely well. After 1.5 hours, I went blank. I went blank. I'm telling you my own personal experience. CA final SFM paper, I still remember the paper. A person who was confident of getting 80 plus wrote only for 62 marks. Are you guys understanding? Yes. I know the reason is because I didn't sleep well. That night I had just slept for 2 hours. Don't do this mistake. Do not compromise on your sleep one day before examination. You have to sleep for minimum 6 hours. Sir, I haven't prepared anything. It's okay. If you've slept well, somehow your brain is going to help you in recollecting whatever you've read in the past. But if you've not slept well, you will not be in a frame of mind to answer any question. Don't do this mistake. It's another chapter altogether. That first 1 hour, whatever I wrote, I was able to get real good marks for that, and I sailed through with the paper. But that might not happen every time. People write for 100 marks, still not confident of getting 40. Imagine my situation where I wrote only for 62 marks. How do you think I might be confident? Was not. But I'll have to go on. I had my next paper, which was auditing. I had to write. There's no option. I went, I wrote, sailed through. So all that I'm trying to say, please sleep well. Important point. Next. Write a page with a pen. Write a page with the pen that you intend to use in the examination. Let's assume I want to use one particular pen. Say I'm using Reynolds. Ensure that you write at least one page with that pen one day before examination so that you can use the same pen on the day of examination. This might sound funny, it might sound lame, but I'm telling you again, I have tried and tested all these things. It is going to make your life easier. That small 1 minute that you're saving might be useful in writing another 2 marker, another 3 marker. Makes a lot of difference between 58 and 60. My aim is never 38 and 40. My aim is always getting distinction. Are you guys understanding? Yes. Next. Carry water and if possible lemonade. I know for a fact that you have already written one examination. You don't need all of these things, but it's preferable. Carry water. I will not get into the science behind it. You require water. Keep hydrating yourself as much as possible during examination. Carry lemonade. Lemonade is going to help you keep your brain active. Lemonade is going to help you keep your brain active. Understanding, everyone? Yes. So even when you're preparing, even now, when you're at home studying for examinations, irrespective of your examination being after 1 year, 2 years, drink lemonade. It's going to help you. Dispose the question paper immediately after exams. Very important. So I still remember I used to do this. First CA foundation, intermediate, what I used to do, I used to get back the paper home and I used to sit and check how much will I get in this paper? Will I pass? Will I get more than 60? Will I get more than 80? All of us sitting here do this. CA final learned a lesson that you cannot afford doing this because it's going to hamper all your other papers. What I used to do in the examination hall, the moment I hand over my answer script, I come out, tear the paper, dispose it there, come home. All that I used to tell is, Jai Mata Di, let's rock. Let's see whatever is going to happen. We are going to, anyways, there's no point in carrying this paper home. It's available online. It's available online. Dispose the paper right then and there. So no, sir, Saraswati Mata will feel bad. No one will feel bad. No one will feel bad because you have to focus on your next paper. That is more important for you. I hope you guys are understanding. Yes, attitude matters. All of this, I have repeated this several times. All of us are big fans of MS Dhoni because it's the positive. It's absolutely keeping yourself calm, cool, relaxed. That's what I insist everyone. Sir, however bad the paper might be, it's okay. Keep yourself calm. You will be able to answer because it's not that you'll be listening to the term for the first time. Somewhere or the other you might have come across. So keep yourself calm, positive attitude. You will be able to sail through. Read the question carefully, like I've already mentioned. Don't panic. In case if you don't know any particular question, it's okay. So what? Now let's assume I don't know one 4 marker. Out of 800 marks, do you think 4 marks might matter? Maybe not. Maybe not. Focus on the rest of the paper. You'll be able to sail through. Don't panic. The biggest key to clearing any professional examination or any examination for that matter is keeping yourself calm. Don't assume that you will not know the answer before reading the question. Wow, this is one of the best things. Let's assume, example, Nidhi company. The question is about Nidhi company. Seeing Nidhi company itself, you got heart attack. Sir, what is Nidhi company? I'm not read. The question might be the simplest question. It might be that does Companies Act apply to Nidhi company? You've not even read the question. You've just seen that word Nidhi company and come out with a heart attack. Don't do that. Don't do that. Read the question. Don't assume even before reading the question that you don't know. Just because you've seen one word which is a little scary, don't assume that you don't know that entire question. It could be simple. Are you guys understanding? No wrong sections. I'm going to get into the technicals in some time. Don't watch others in the examination hall. Very important. Sir, that person is taking additional script. That person is not even writing. That person is sleeping. Sir, that person's life he will handle after 3 years, after 4 years. You will become a chartered accountant. That person will become or not. You don't know. Why do you want to bother about him? Why do you want to even think about him? Don't fall for this. Most of us get victimized. Again, this I'm telling because I still remember it was CA final. There was a paper called as information technology. All right. So this paper, people end up coming for half an hour, leave within half an hour. Now you don't have this option. Earlier there was an option. So I used to think, why are they leaving in half an hour? Am I writing extra or I don't know? So I'm sitting and they know too much. Not your headache, not your problem. Don't bother about all those things. Are you guys understanding? Next. So time for 4 marks and 2 marks can't be the same. Very important. Sir, I'm spending 10 minutes for 4 marks. Ideally, you're not supposed to. You should not spend more than 5 minutes for a 4 marker. Should I spend 5 minutes for 2 marker also? Logically, no. No. The amount of time that you spend between for a 4 marker and for a 2 marker cannot be the same. Think logically. Think logically. But having said that, most of you have already experienced. You know something extra for a 2 marker, so you want to keep on writing. Don't do this mistake. The maximum that you will get is 2 marks, even if you write a little less. Understanding? Yes. So balance yourself extremely well. Relationship for marks and length. Sir, BCom examination, if I write for 6 pages, I used to get 4 marks. CA exams also same rule? No. The length of your answer and the marks may not have great relationship. All right. Of course, it's not that for a 4 marker, you just write 1 point and come back and assume that you've got 4 marks. That is illogical. Having said that, sir, should I write 4 pages for a 4 marker? No, not required. Not required. The length and marks don't go hand in hand always. Understanding everyone? Just ensure you write sufficient for getting those 3 marks, 4 marks out of a question which has been asked for. Presentation. Sir, in CAPS material, I've seen tables, colorful charts, all that. Can I present that in my examination? Answer is yes. For a theory paper also, I'm telling you guys, for a theory paper also, in case if you're presenting it in the form of a table, in the form of a chart, you're underlining things, it will make the other person's life easier. Imagine 10 black and white copies and all of a sudden some colorful copy if I get. Don't you think I'll be the happiest evaluator on earth at that point of time? Yes. Imagine yourself. Now, colorful doesn't mean that you're going to take sketch pens and all. What I mean to do say is, please ensure you can present your answers in the form of tables, charts as well. Understood? Next. We'll get into the technicals now. 100% focus. Can I start, friends? Yes. Can I see your faces?
Yes, sir.
Can I see your faces?
Yes.
No. So don't ask all these things in last 40 minutes. First of all, in the session itself, you don't ask us to see. Can I see my friends? Scary?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Scary?
sir.
No, don't be. It's just an examination. You've been writing all your life. Simple, relax. I am there. Next 15 minutes, we are going to understand that. Let's take home the basic important questions at least. Can I start, friends? Yes?
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Just a second. All right. 148 sections, 10 chapters in your Companies Act. All right. In your Companies Act, you have 10 chapters. Sir, Hypanta, no, we are going to revise. What is important from exam point of view, where you have to pay extra focus, we're going to discuss. Chapter bifurcation. What is important is, guys, I don't know sections. 148 sections, I might not know one of the sections. What should I do? Be smart enough. Be smart enough. You don't know the section. You might know the chapter at least. Example. So I don't know. One of the questions is pertaining to incorporation of companies. I don't know the section. What you can do? Write the name of the chapter. As per chapter titled preliminary or as per chapter titled incorporation of companies and matters incidental thereto. You'll get 1 mark. You'll get that half mark. The other person might be impressed. I'm telling you guys, you might not know the section. It's okay. It's okay. Having said that, if you know the section, should I write? It's like, I have money, but I don't want to spend. Does it make sense? No. I will, if you know the section, please go ahead and write. But if you don't know any of the section, it's okay. Write the chapter titles at least. So chapter title bhi nahi aata. I don't know the chapter title as well. Write as per Companies Act. Sir, Companies Act also I don't know. Write as per the provision of law. Sir, after that also I don't know. Don't write. Understood, everyone? Yes. So this is important. Next point is rules. Wherever required, wherever there's a reference of rules, write as much as possible if you can recollect during examination. Start with the pattern. Please note, whenever you're writing exam, when I give you, okay, when you're watching a movie, do you want the climax to be in the beginning? Think logically. How can you write an answer in the same manner when you can't watch a movie which is never making difference to your life? That in that you're so particular that you can't have a climax in the beginning. How can you write an answer which is going to differentiate your entire life with writing straight to the conclusion? No. What do you got to do? Write story wise. Sir, story means please write first as per whichever act, whichever section, whichever chapter, whatever you remember. Next, write the provision, however you know. Then you come to the main climax that yes, whether it is applicable or not. All right. There's a separate formula which we are going to discuss, but please remember, write in some form of story. Don't come to the main climax first because that will not interest the other person to read the balance answer. Understanding everyone? Yes. Next, other laws. Sir, I've read Companies Act extremely well. Enough, sir? No, not enough. Companies Act will only fetch 60 marks. Your other laws is going to fetch 40 marks, which most of us ignore. My students, the other session, if you remember, Negotiable Instruments Act, we had some quiz, so-called quiz, where most of us were not able to answer. Do you remember? Please don't ignore. Don't ignore, because 40 marks coming from there, sir. It's almost 40% of your paper is from there. You can't even afford ignoring it. Pay attention to it. How to manage? I'll help you guys. Hold on. Few case laws handy. Wherever required. Solomon versus Solomon. Sir, hi-fi case law. I don't know. Sir, why you don't know? Basic corporate responsibility. It's your separate legal entity concept. Keep a note of separate few basic case laws. You might not remember everything, but few basic ones at least you keep handy. All right. Language. I told, or Companies Act told students to write as per dividend. Don't use these words. The moment they see these words, says, tells, told, hugs, kisses, not going to get even half mark. They're going to scratch your entire answer. How should you write? Please use words like states, mentions, refers, specifies. These are the words that you're going to use. Don't use words like Companies Act says that we have to declare dividend and the payment has to be made within the specified day. Companies Act is not coming to your house and telling anything. Please use the words like states, specifies, refers. These are the words that you're going to use. Sir, if you don't know anything, use the standard word called states. You don't know other synonyms. It's okay. I'm not your English teacher, nor you're writing an English paper. Write the word states wherever, however required. Easy to write. Understood? Next. Distinguish between direct questions and case studies. Whenever there's a question, please note if there is a case study or a direct question. Direct question means it could be explain, define. Those are direct questions. Case study means it could be a practical oriented question. Please be very, very careful when you're distinguishing. Answer first question, best question. Whichever is your first question, whichever is your best answer, which you think you'll be able to write that as the first question. Why? Sir, if the opening batsmen are good, then my middle order and my tail end will not have problem. If my opening batsman itself is not playing well, then I'm doubtful if my middle order will play, because I'm sure Dhoni is not there in the team right now. I hope you understand. Yes. So please focus. Ensure that your first question is the best question. Next, press page per policy. Per sub question, every sub question must be in a new page. Sir, half page will be wasted. You don't bother. It's not your father's or my father's. We have paid, I know for a fact, but please ensure that you follow this policy of press question or every new sub question in a new page. Next. No point in now thinking this faculty asked us to do this, that, 100 things. Now this problem will come into picture. Sir, Nehal sir had asked us to do this, or Asha ma'am would have asked us to do this. It's okay. Whatever you could do, you've done your best. Now just ensure that you somehow sail through these 1.5 days. Give you 100%. Very important. No superstitions. Most of us are victims of this. Most of us are victims of this. We see a black cat when we are going for the examination hall. We come back. Now, the problem is, sir, you've already lost half an hour. Don't get into all of these things. It might cost a lot. Let's get started with the technical discussion. All right, friends. So what is the technical discussion? Very simple. Preliminary, section 1 to 2, important focus points. Please note, I am just referring to extra focus. Read everything, but whatever I'm telling might be some extra focus you can pay. All right, my friends who are writing examination day after tomorrow, just pay a little extra focus. That means I'm not asking you to ignore everything else. Read the others as well. Pay some extra focus. Understood, everyone? Yes. There in the session, or I'm just yelling?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, primary focus on important definition. Please note, the first chapter is preliminary. If you see, your chapters in Companies Act are just the same as what is there in the Bear Act. Your chapters in the syllabus, the title is same as what is there in the Bear Act. All right. So first chapter, how do you go about? Don't invest extra time on the first chapter. Read the basic things, but wherever there are definitions, you have definitions in your first chapter. Don't spend extra time on that. Rather, when you're reading second, third, fourth, fifth chapters or the other chapters, wherever there is a reference to a particular definition, come back and read first chapter accordingly. Don't spend extra time on the first chapter. You're saving close to 1 or 2 hours just by doing this. As simple as that. Understood, everyone? Yes, saving 1 or 2 hours in next 1.5 hours, 1.5 days could save a lot. Second, incorporation of companies and matters incidental thereto. Section 3 to section 22. What do you have to do? Please focus, extra focus on OPC, conversion of OPC. What will happen in case if the members fall below 2 or 7? Do you remember what is going to happen? You have 6 months. Other things that we had discussed, I'm not getting into the technicals. Yes, so just focus slightly on this. Focus on alteration of MOA and AOA, conversion of companies. Section 8 companies can be converted into OPC, OPC can be converted into Section 8 companies. There are multiple other permutation combinations. Pay a little extra focus on this. Yes. Chapter 3, prospectus and allotment of securities. Section 23 to 41 deals with this, and there's additional important section. That's why I've given additionally section 42. What is section 42? Private placement. Pay that extra focus on 42. That's why I've paid attention in while making this presentation as well. Matters which are to be covered in prospectus, important. Types of prospectus, please read. Your red herring prospectus, all the types, variants that we have seen. Pay a little extra focus. Sir, can I change the terms in the contract? Can I pay a commission for the person who is subscribing for the shares? Can I have a person as my commission agent? If so, how much can I pay? Pay a little extra focus. Pay a little focus on allotment. How securities are to be allotted. Extra focus or highly important one, which I can say is private placement. Read private placement carefully. All right. Chapter 4, share capital and debentures. Just now you've written your accounting group 1. All right. So half of this chapter is already covered in your accounting group 1. Am I right? Buyback, redemption, whatever is there. All those topics might have already got covered in group 1. There will be very little putty portion which is left that is already there in your group 2. You might have come across. Just spend 1 hour or 2 hours on this chapter, you'll be done. Just spend 1 or 2 hours on this chapter, you'll be done. Understood? Why? Because you've already invested time in the first paper. Understanding, friends? Yes. Next, chapter 5. Chapter 5 is acceptance of deposit by companies, section 73 to 76A. Where extra focus, sir, please read the definitions carefully. Very important point. Eligible conditions. Eligible company for accepting deposit. Extra focus. Limit on accepting deposit. How much can I do, or who all can do? How much can it be done? That has to be paid an extra focus. Amounts not considered as deposit. What is not considered as deposit? In detail. Some 16, 17 line items are there. Important. Read those. Might be useful. Understood? Yes. There in the session, friends.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Registration of charges, section 77 to 87. 10, 11 sections, important section. Very chiller topics, very chiller topic. Types of charges, floating charges, fixed charges, if you remember, very basic. Can floating be converted into fixed? Fixed can be converted into whatever the permutation we've learned, which is nothing but your crystallization. How do you register? What will happen if you don't register? Important. This is important. Consequences of non-registration, and very, very important. Charge is a constructive notice, just like your MOA, doctrine of ultravirus, doctrine of constructive notice, all those doctrines. One of the doctrine that we have learned is doctrine of constructive notice. Do you remember? Yes. So this is what we are talking. Charge is also a constructive notice. Length and breadth, your faculty would have discussed this. Chapter 7, management and administration, section 88 to 122. One of the most important topics. I insist you guys to spend at least 3 to 4 hours on this topic. Important. This is going to fetch you at least 12 to 14 marks in your examination. Sir, what is important? Foreign registers. If you remember, we have discussed what are foreign registers, how it is to be maintained, where it is to be maintained. Yes. 2 case studies are there in your study material. There are 2 case studies in your study material. Sir, I have not read those case studies. Don't worry. There are only 4 lines in each of those case studies. Don't get into panic mode. Just 4 lines each case study. Just spend those 2 case studies are there. Very simple topic. Immediately after your registers, there are 2 case studies. All right. Notice how you're going to give notice. What are the different types of notices? Explanatory statement. Where you have to give explanatory statement. We have seen practical examples. Yes. How much should be the quorum? Proxy, examination, college life. We have connected with college life. Friend wants to come and give proxy. If you remember, very interesting topics. Then types of voting. How voting has to be done. Postal ballot. Where show by hand. All of those we have discussed. Yes. Types of resolution. special resolution, or your ordinary resolution. What will be covered in ordinary resolution? 4 important points. 4 ordinary business. Adda, if you remember, Adda points. Understanding? Yes. AGM and EGM. Very important. Focus extra. Pay extra focus on AGM. Pay extra focus on AGM. Coming on to your chapter 8, declaration of dividend and payment of dividend, section 123 to section 127. Sir, very difficult. No, sir, very simplest. One of the simplest topics. Why? Sir, because this one chapter is there almost in every subject. It's there in your accounting, it's there in your auditing, it's there in this subject itself. So you would have come across this topic somewhere or the other. What is important? Sources of dividend. If I don't have profit, can I use my past profits? If so, what are the conditions we have discussed? Yes, you might not remember. It's okay. That's why you have 1.5 days. That's why you have 1.5 days. Understanding? Right now, I'm just telling where you have to go and search. It's a treasure hunt. I'm telling you, I'm giving you the clue where you have to go and search. Just spend some time on searching those. You will be able to sail through. Conditions for paying dividend out of your accumulated profits. Difference between interim and final dividend. Difference between interim dividend, final dividend, who can give, when can you give, from where you can give, all the discussion that we have done. Yes, chart from declaration of dividend till IEPF. Remember the chart, right from declaring till going to IEPF, 7 years out of, after 7 years, if I want, what will happen? If I don't transfer it to IEPF, what will happen? That entire chart you remember, right from declaring dividend till the amount going to IEPF. Understanding? Yes. Then chapter 9 deals with your accounts. Chapter 9 is nothing but your accounts of company, section 128 to 138. Most of this might have already been covered as a part of your accounting group 1 or group 2 or auditing. So just here that you have to focus is change in place of keeping books. I don't want to keep at my registered office. Can I keep it somewhere else? Yes or no? Something that we would have discussed. 129.1, you'll have to focus CFS, you'll have to focus consolidated financial statements, reopening of books of account, revision of financial statements, signing financial statements. Who can sign the financial statements? Authentication of financial statements, something that we have discussed. CSR, important. CSR. Also, just pay little focus on internal audit. Ideally, internal audit as a question comes in auditing subject. They might not ask in this paper. Understanding? Yes. Last topic, audit, chapter 10, audit and auditors, section 139 to 148. Complete auditing, whatever you've learned, company audit chapter in your auditing paper, just learn the law portion. Don't get into how to audit. Don't get into how to audit. There you have to just remember the law. Whatever is the provision of law that you have to remember. Allied law, sir, something that I've always ignored all my life. Don't ignore, sir. 40 marks, 40 marks, cakewalk. See the topics. Indian Contract Act. What is indemnity? What is guarantee? Colorful pictures. I have myself taught all the batches that are here right now. Yes. So the whole point is contract of indemnity, guarantee, difference between indemnity and guarantee. How should be what are the rights of surety? Finder of lost good. I've lost my goods. What should I do? Types of lien, general lien and particular lien, delegation and creation of sub-agent. Can I create sub-agency? Substituted agents. Difference between sub-agency and your substituted agency. Understanding? Negotiable instruments, 1881, very important. Again, characteristics, acceptor for honor, a couple of topics with respect to valid acceptance. HIDC, very important. HIDC, if you remember Spider-Man, Superman that we had created in the chart. Yes, classification of negotiable instruments, conditional endorsement, sans recourse, sans facultative. Do you remember a couple of things that we had discussed? As if you don't remember, don't worry, you have 1.5 days. The whole point of me coming here is to ensure that 1.5 days becomes easier. Acceptance of a bill drawn in fictitious name, important. Fictitious name, we've discussed this. Material alteration, what will happen in case if the change of time, place or amount is done without someone's approval? That will be called as the material alteration. Instrument without consideration, can I have? Yes, you can have. Kite bill, accommodation bill, something that we had discussed. Ideally, no. General principle, no. Exception, yes. Accommodation bill, if you remember. Yes. Presentment. So very important, sir. Now they have removed presentment from my syllabus. No. November 2021 onwards, they've removed it from syllabus. Please note, my friends who are writing examination, the recent notification that has come is not for July or May. It is for the November attempt. Are you guys understanding? Yes. Penalties in case of you dishonor, which is nothing but in our colloquial language, not the exam language, colloquial language, it checks bounds. What is the penalty? We've discussed in length and breadth. Last two important topics, General Clauses Act and interpretation of statute. Cakewalk. The same example that I would have used in both the subjects, in both the chapters. Section 3 of Companies Act, may becomes shall becomes may, if you remember. Yes. So here, please pay a little attention on definition, general rules of construction, measurement of distance. Very important point, how to service your post. I want to send post. How should I send it? By RPAD. If you remember a couple of things that we discussed, one mistake, 2 penalties. Can I have? No. There are many rulings that one mistake, only 1 penalty. And last one, chapter 4 is interpretation of statutes. Please focus a little more on rules of interpretation, internal aids of interpretation, understanding few important terminologies. Yes, with this, I hope I've done a fair job to the time that you guys have invested. And just a second. We have a minute. I know we are all running short of time. And you just have a minute. If anyone wants to casually just talk randomly, nothing specific to subject, I'm not going to entertain any of the doubts. Anything random apart from that, hi, hello, how are you? Doing well? No, yes. Great. You can just let me know. My only advice is, if your paper was good, bad, forget it. It's your past. You cannot change now. If it is good, congratulations. If it is bad, it's again good. Why? Because it might have been bad for many people. You're not the only one who has written. I am telling you, my papers have gone the worst. I am telling you, my papers have always been the worst. God's grace, somehow I used to say, because the only confidence which always used to strike me is, if my net is bad, 100% the person sitting next to me left 15 minutes before me, 100% it might have been the worst for him. Never know. I'm not being sadistic, but I'm just trying to create a little confidence for myself for the next 8 days. After that, I'll pray for him also. I'll ensure that even he clears. Having said that, you guys have anything to share? Just quickly, we'll take a minute. And my friends who are going to write your examination, relax, friends. It's just an examination. You've been writing exams right from your kindergarten. Just because it is CA examination, create artificial pressures for yourself. Don't create artificial pressures for yourself. You've been writing exams. Just like another exam, you'll sail through with this also. Have a positive attitude. Please ensure you carry water, carry lemonade. And in case if you don't know any topic, if the paper is difficult, breathe, relax. There is a solution to every question in the question paper. You would have read this somewhere. Maybe not the exact law you might know, but just write some story income, you'll get marks. Now, please note, storytelling means you don't narrate the entire Puranas. You might not get marks for that. Write something connected, you'll get marks. Relax. All right. Having said that, friends, all those of you who are going to write your examination day after tomorrow, all the very best. My friends who are going to write later on, which is November, by now you should have realized how exams feel like and start pulling up your socks. Read, prepare for your examination. All right. There's nothing called as a lazy attitude because it's going to cost a lot later on. Having said that, my friends who are writing day after tomorrow, you are well prepared for your examination. You will sail through. You will sail through. My confidence. The only point is this: my confidence will become extra confidence provided you put in your confidence into it. All right. Stay positive. Stay calm. Have a great day ahead. Thank you so much, friends.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, friends. Thank you.